Okay, so here we are. Welcome back. Yes, I'm at the dealership. Not for very much longer, but I am here. Anyway, so what we got right now is something that I've been talking to several people about, and I've talked about it in a couple videos here and there. I think I even did one video on it, but we're going to do another one. When you have a solid lifter Cummins, you have to do a valve adjustment every 120,000 miles or so. This customer comes in 140,000 miles complaining of a little bit of a ticking noise coming out of the engine. I tried catching it on video. You can't catch it on video. It's just so very faint, and with the injector ticks and everything else, you can't hear it on video. So I'm going to go through and do this, and we're going to see how far out they are and all that good stuff. But let me flip it around, show you what we got, and we'll get into tearing it down. So here we are, the 2016 Cummins. She's dirty. I wish some people would clean their engines a lot more, but a lot of people just disregard it and don't think about it. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and start getting this stuff tore down and show you what we got, and we'll get into how I determine where I'm going to adjust valves and how I get the engine to that point. I don't put a barring tool in, and I don't slow roll it and bar it over by hand. We have a little trick. So stick with me, we'll show you it, and we'll show you how to adjust them. So here we are. We've got the cradle removed, the harness removed, valve cover removed, all that good stuff. And now we need to get this thing onto top dead center. So we got to roll the engine over until both of those valves are in the fully closed, all four of those valves are in the fully closed position. So how do we do that? Here's how I do it. I have a trigger button, okay? Then I have a wire coming off of the starter activation, starter solenoid activation pin, which is right there, and the other end going to battery positive. So when I push the button, we get crank over, and I don't have to turn the key on and set a bunch of codes because I have all the harness disconnected. So we're going to sit here and we're going to bump it over till that intake closes, give her another little bump, and now both of those are in the fullest, most relaxed state that they can be in. Now we're going to go ahead and loosen up the jam nuts, and we're going to put our hex drive into there, get our feeler gauges, and start testing. But before I do that, I'm going to see if I can fit the 10 and 20 in without even adjusting it. So give me a minute and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so here is why we do this. So this is your 20 thousandths feeler gauge, and it is just sloppy under there. That's on the exhaust side. Let's grab the intake and see what we see on that side, okay? And it's a little bit harder to do with just one hand on here, but give me a second. In fact, let me put this down for a minute. So after two hands getting that under there, it is just as sloppy as the exhaust side. So we're going to go ahead and get to adjusting these. I'll show you that. Give me another second. So first things first is we got to get that, let me get that out of the way. We got to get that jam nut loosened up, all right? So we got our wrench on there. Again, this is going to be a little bit hard with one hand. Hold on. Ow. You gotta love those when you drag your knuckles across the injector tops. There we go. Now, I had the little 1/4 inch ratchet on there just to keep from popping stuff off and losing it, okay? So let's grab our 10 thousandths again. I should have brought my other little toy so I can hold the phone while I do this. But here we go. So we get our feeler gauge under there. Just turn this thing by hand, all right? You don't need to crank it down. I think the actual torque on it is like 6 inch-pounds. But literally you just tighten it by hand. That means just finger tight. You don't need to go stupid crazy on it. And if you look, now we are going to have a slight drag on that. All right, so now we'll put our ratchet back on here and we'll tighten down that jam nut. And then you got to make sure you hold the adjuster, because you don't want it tightening down any more than where we're already at. So once we get it tightened down, now we have just a slight bit of drag in there, and that one's done. Now I'm going to go ahead and roll through all of these. I'll show you how to, as I bump over the next one or so, but I'm not going to show you exactly how to adjust the lash on each one, but you'll get what I'm doing. So we got cylinder number 1 done. Now let's move on to cylinder number 2. Intake opening, intake closing, intake and exhaust are both closed. Now we can go ahead and adjust that one, then that one, and continue on. Okay, so we got the harness installed. I'm going to show you this because I know you're going to ask. We get asked stuff like this all the time. This is straight out of Chrysler service information. When tighten the fuel injector wire harness nuts to 1.5 Newton meter or 13 inch-pounds. Be very careful not to over tighten these nuts. It will break, and then you have to replace the injector, and your job of just doing a valve lash adjustment got very expensive. So don't over tighten those. 13 inch-pounds. So that's where we're at. Now I'm going to get the valve cover put on, the rest of this stuff put in, wire harness plugged in, and I'll give you a short little video of startup and see if you can hear how nice and smooth this thing's going to be. Now again, I do highly recommend this procedure to be done about every 120,000 miles, just because you have components that wear a little bit, and we want to make sure that our valve lash is taken to the sweet spot, and it keeps the engine from beating itself to death, and also smooths them out when they've gotten as far out as this one has. Give me a few to get this back together. We'll be right back. So we get it all put back together. Make sure you put your relay back in, close her up, and let's go fire in the hole, see what she sounds like. Again, probably going to notice quite a bit of it sounds smoother, probably even going to get more fuel economy, better performance, all of that good stuff. I can already tell by the way she was vibrating earlier, she's running a lot smoother now. So I think this one is a success. Of course, it's just a simple valve lash adjustment, but you never know, right? But this is just another one of those recommended maintenance items that, if you got a up to 18, this goes all the way back to 12 valve, 24 valve time, we need to be doing these valve lash adjustments, all right? So if you got one, it's over 120,000 miles, you haven't had a valve lash adjustment done to it, probably should think about getting it done. Anyway, we'll talk to you on the next one, guys. Thank you. Have a good one.